You know what I'm saying? I
Brother
did go like,
Shaka,
oh, yeah,
let me say this before I go. You are one of the most dangerous brothers in our community. Why? Because he has been listening for a long time. And when you say something, he's going to say, wait, but you said this on this day. Here's the video.
And he's going to have the
He is one of the
documentation.
most dangerous brothers in our community. And so I'm excited that you're here. I'm excited that Soneta's audience now knows about you. He was talking to me about Shaka, 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 Shaka. I thought he was talking about Shaka almost for a second. Because Soneta love him some Shaka Ma'at forever. So I'm just honored that now we have a more global. I know Rob Moore was kind of making a joke, but he was also making a comment. The reality is that this internet is going to allow Africans all over the world to connect on our interest, and that is powerful. That is powerful.
Yes.
I'm honored to be on. I promise I will communicate with you. I'm watching your shows ardently, Shaka. So whenever you would like me to come and chat with you privately or publicly, please let me know.
Yeah.
Okay?
I hope you're doing well. The title of this live stream is Tyrese Black Like Ancient Egyptians. What's the hieroglyphic word for brown? Let me check the sound quality. Sounds good on my end. Just want to do something real quick. I will share the links and we'll be ready to go. Oh, it doesn't show. Strange. Never mind. Okay, let me share the links. The chat is open to members only. You have the link to become a supporter. Then, fair use disclaimer. Copyright disclaimer. Under Section 107 of the Copyright Act of 1976, allowance is made for comment, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, education, and research. This will be later on. Here you have Kemet and Ma'at, which has over 400,000 views. And I think that's about it. We're ready to go. So I'm gonna show you some my other computer. All right. So here you have James P. Allen's book called Middle Egyptian: An Introduction to the Language and Culture of Hieroglyphs. Now that's the third edition. The first edition was published in the year 2000. The second edition was published a decade after, and the third edition was published in 2014, a decade ago. Okay? Now, on page 26, it says the Egyptians had several names for their own country, including Tamer, Kano, quote unquote, Kano land, and Kemet, black. In contrast to Desheret, the yellow/red of the desert. So you do have the word Desheret, you have an alternative which is Desher, and it means mainly is translated as red. Okay, but here James P. Allen, PhD, wrote yellow/red of the desert, both of which refer to the agricultural land along the Nile. Often, however, hold on. Okay, so often, however, Egypt was called Tawi, two lands. This reflects the geographical division between Upper and Lower Egypt. Okay, so there are many other PhDs who translate Kem as black. Here we have the term Kemet, but the root of Kemet is Kem. And as a matter of fact, you notice that here he translated Kemet as black, not black land, not black country. Okay, now on page 42 of the same book, we have Kem, meaning black. Now in parentheses you see here, and just so that you can understand, on the previous page, page 41, you can see that this is exercise 3, and it says transcribe the following words, and in parentheses it says that the determinatives are explained in parentheses. So the here that we see is just the determinative, and that is the determinatives. Okay, so you have the root of Kemet, which is Kem, translated as black. Now on page 532, that's the next page, you can see the separation line here. So on page 532 we have once again Kem, and it says adjective, and it means black. Okay, then the next translation you have is Kem Ur. So that's a determinative, the here. We have Ur with the phonetic complement. So Kem Ur is translated as great black. Ur means great, and Kem, as we know, means black. Okay, now here on page 533 we have Kemet, quote unquote Egypt, literally black land. All right, this is another PhD called Claude Obzomer. His name is written here. The lady's name is a person who translated it in English, because initially the book was in French. So this book is called Hieroglyphic Egyptian, a practical grammar of Middle Egyptian. And we can see Kem with the hair determinative, and the translation is black and also dark. It's good to know, and it can be interesting if we're thinking about this question in the title. What's the hieroglyphic word for brown? Now right underneath based on the root chem, we have the word kemet that we are very familiar with. We have three different spellings, right? And kemet, basically, that's Nilotic Egypt. So this is page 291 of that book. On Gardner's Egyptian Grammar, third revised edition, on page 57, we do have Kemet, and here it is translated as the Black Land, i.e., Egypt. This is just in passing. This is a sidebar. Now that's page 60. What was the previous? Well, yeah, I did say 57. So on page 60, we have this bird which gives us the sound tu. Now it says presence of that semi-vowel is betrayed by the use of the sound sign tu in derivatives forms. In derivative from feminine nouns. So mehitiu above, or for masculine words ending in t. Example, heftiu, opponents, enemies. An adjective used as a noun and derived from the preposition hefet, before, opposite. Observation: in Old Egyptian, the formative was either omitted or else written with an E. Now the letter I is the E sound. An alternative ending, U, W is the U sound, survives in some nouns like heru, lower part, and mitu, meaning peer. And the sidebar, I just thought it was interesting. I guess it's going to make it very easy for people to remember, because the first glyph we have right here is me, transliterated mi, and it means like, as in as, not I like you, but like you said, for example. And after we have the bread loaf, or loaf of bread, and then we have the kuachik. So the loaf of bread is a t sound or t sound, and the kuachik is the u sound, transliterated with a w. So you're thinking, me too, and it means peer. I just thought. But anyway, here we have another book by two PhDs. Now the book unfortunately is small, but Pierre Grandet and Bernard Mathieu. It's a French book. It's called Cours d'Égyptien Hieroglyphic, which means lesson of hieroglyphic Egyptian, or hieroglyphic Egyptian lesson. Now we are looking at page 261, and here we have Ha-ek Aped Kem. Now aped is usually translated as bird, and as a matter of fact, we have a bird as a determinative. So we have the aleph, the a sound, we have the stu or mat, which is the p or p sound, and then we have the hen, which is the d or d sound. So we have aped with the determinative of the bird, and then finally we have kem, written with a phonetic complement of the m. The owl is the m sound. So here we have the transliteration. The symbol that looks like a 3 is the aleph, so it's the a sound. We have aped kem, and when we look at the translation, we have oiseau noir. Noir is a French word for black. Oiseau is a French word for bird. Now this arrière means back, as in go back. Okay, so Andrew Burnett is in a place to be. How are you doing? On another page of the same book, and it's page 647, right here we have Memi Kem. You know that the owl is the M sound, The reed leaf is the E sound transliterated with the I, so that spells Memi. And then we have Kem. And after Kem, we have the determinative of the seated man. So here we have transliteration, Memi. Now, mind you, instead of the letter I, we have the letter J. Whether it's the letter I or the letter J, it's the same sound. It's the E sound. And then we have Kem. Now you have the source. Now the source is a book by the name in the chat. Hold on. I'm gonna put his name and the title of his book. Hermann Ranke. I'm not sure if you pronounce it Ranke, but you know he's a German guy, and you have the title of his book. You know, Die Egyptian Personen men, but I don't really have the German pronunciation or accent. But the PN, that's basically his book. Okay. So this time we have an individual. We have his given name, and then he's described as black, right? Oh, mind you, in French we have Memi, le noir. Le noir means the black, okay? And it's just like what we have on James P. Allen, Middle Egyptian. So page 5. So it's not unique because I've showed many times Henenit Kem translated as Henenit the Black. This time it's a different PhD who speak a different language. And you have Henenit and then Kem. So we have two instances. It's not only two, there's more, but you have two examples of somebody. You have his name, and then you have the term Kem. The person is described or called black, right? Okay. So now, finally, for the record, well, Dr. Theopharo Benga, I'm quoting from the book on the left side. There is a English translation available on the right. So on page 233, you do have Kemet, the transliteration here. Now in Coptic, Copt is the French for Coptic, we have Kemi, and it is what we call Egypt, literally, the black country, in quotation. All right? And that's about it. So now that I've shared this, we can listen to a conversation that I had. And if anybody has any answer, then feel free. And after, if I'm not too tired, then I will share the link so anybody can holler if they want to. So I can, hold on. Can I remove myself from here? You can listen to the convo that I had.
Okay, so you just invoked race, and that's my point. That the reason why people would call you a black man, people will call me a black man, Ice-T a black man, Wesley Snipes a black man, Tyrese a black man, is because they lump us all into a category called black. That's a racial, modern social construct.
No, that's where I disagree. It's not modern, because back in Kemet, Well, wow. Back in Kemet, they had the term Kem, and what is Kem translated as by most Egyptologists in the world is translated as black. So back then they had that word to describe that skin, that color, let's say, that they will also apply for the skin. And Nedaneb has shown that. See, when Osai Imhotep said, well, you cannot put up the hair determinative, Netaneb happened to do just that. And he ended the argument because Osai Imhotep said that would end the argument. And then Nedaneb just did that. He showed the attestation of Kem with the hair determinative. And then when I called the show, you guys, the guy had the nerve to say, well, look what I said, in 2018 or whatever, say 2014, like 8 years ago. Here we have Wesley Snipes. The shirt is red. What's the color of the body? What's the color of the skin? Brothers and sisters, earlier we did with Tyrese. I would like you, brothers and sisters, to tell me, what is the skin color of Wesley Snipes here, for the record? Because we know who just answered. And there, at least we can see where we disagree, So
No, it's
earlier,
clear. Wait. So we let me just express where I think we disagree. We disagree, as you said, that the modern social construct of race is not a modern social construct of race. You feel that the social construct of race that we have today existed in ancient Egypt. Am I correct?
no, that's not exactly what I'm saying. I'm not saying that the social construct that we have today is exactly the same as back in ancient Egypt. But when it comes to black, the color black, they had a word for that color, and they had description with that color. And the word Kem, the I6 glyph, stands for that color that we call black today.
Okay, so can I share my screen?
Yeah, feel free. I'm going to let you share your screen.
All right, I just want to share something real quick and ask you a question about this, just to get your thoughts on it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't see where I can share
it. You're familiar with the StreamYard, right? Now, at the bottom you have mute, stop cam.
Oh, I see
settings.
it. I see it. Present.
Yeah.
Present.
Yep. Yeah.
Okay.
See, Jay wrote, Shaka acting like he and Snipes are the same. This is a mental breakdown here. Now, when did I act like Wesley Snipes and I have the same skin tone? I missed that, but he might enlighten us. And I'm still waiting for the screen share.
Yeah. Okay. Give me 1 second.
Yeah. Okay. No problem. No problem. And that's all I wanted to do when I called to get on your platform. I wanted to talk like we're talking now. But Osar kept talking about, well, I just read it in 2014. That's 8 years ago.
Mm-hmm. I just want to ask a question about this. Oh, yeah. Dang, you can't see it. Why not? Oh, here we go. I have to share it this way.
Okay. But is it giving you trouble when you try? Well, it doesn't make a difference.
Yeah. I think it's probably what I had running before. But so I think people can see it.
It cannot be large, but I guess people will be able to see it anyway.
Okay.
Now, do you want to try it again? Do you want to try to share again? Because I'm sure we'll probably get it to work.
Well, I don't know. Can you just can you focus on me just now?
No, it's not something it's not possible for me to do that. But
I thought on StreamYard you could. Well, I think people could see it because my as long as people can see it good enough. I think it's good enough.
But you don't want to give it a try again to share?
I think I have to share it this way because of other things I had open.
Okay, no,
I don't want to restart. Yeah, my computer.
Yeah, I understand. Yeah, fair enough. Now, okay, Tamika, you're the only one that's emotional with your blonde hair. But go ahead, brother Wuja.
Okay, so this is just a quick example that while we're talking that I just want to pull up. This particular cow here is described as being red. Or at least the Egyptian word here is desheret. All right, so red hair. Okay, you see the word desheret and then shenu here. That's this particular cow. This particular cow and this cow are the same colors. It's just that this one is named or described as being red. The greatly beloved red-haired. Okay, so I'm showing this because now this particular bull is black with a red underbelly and then a lighter tan back. But the bull, just so we can see the difference, and this cow behind this red one is a white one, and the one up here is white. Just so we can have a measurement of these different colorizations here. In this is from the tomb of Nefertari, by the way, for those who may want to check this out. Okay.
Can I ask some questions quickly?
Wait. Let me. Cause I was gonna ask you one.
Okay. No problem.
Okay. So this cow is red. All right. Now,
For the record, if you don't mind, can you just read the whole thing for the description of that cow?
yeah, I have it here on the side. Weret
Look,
merut es desheret shenu. So it's weret here. This first set of glyphs.
yeah,
Merut
Ured, Merut. Then we have
merut
Ataman
es,
and Desheret and Hen. And how do you translate that thing here?
the greatly beloved of her, or her greatly beloved. The S is a pronominal suffix. Then you have desheret
Mm,
shenu,
mm.
red of hair, or red-haired one. Okay. So long
Okay.
as we have that understanding, and like I said, this is the tomb of Nefertari. If people want to do further investigation, right? But I'm just want to establish, at least from here, these different colors, and this one is named, by that. Now, if I were to show you an Egyptian that's skin is painted in the same color, will you agree that Egyptian is also described as Desher if it shares the same color here?
No, I wouldn't agree because we have some other cows. Smash has shown it, and maybe you might have it somewhere. And we had, if I'm not mistaken, the Kem, and I think we had the Desheret as well. And it
Okay,
wasn't,
so
yeah.
so let me show this particular picture. So here we have two cows. Now can we agree that the bottom cow is Desher and the
No,
top cow would
because
be Kim?
no, if you look at this cow here, now we don't have, first of all, we don't have the description Desher here, or the glyphs
No,
Desher.
we don't.
Secondly, if we look at the cow, we can see that the color has faded away over time. There's plenty of artifacts that we see, and it's not the same coloring over time, obviously naturally, because those things are like 3,000 years old for the most part. It has faded a little bit, so the color has faded, and we can even see it on the individual around the torso area. So it was darker before, and we can see around the face of the bull or the calf or whatever it is, the cow, that it is darker. We can even see it like I cannot put the cursor on it, because you're sharing the screen. So
Yeah,
that's
no,
why I disagree.
I see here. Oh, you can't see my.
Young Hero is in the place to be. He wrote black, brown, light skin. Do that make us different people? We more than the color. Well, everybody feel free in the chat, if you have any questions or comments. But in this dialogue, and for those who may wonder, you have the link in the chat for the full dialogue. It is Wujawa and I, Wujawa Iri Ma'at, who are really mainly dealing with the root Kem in hieroglyphic or Mednecher, but we touched on a few things. So Ujawu that is, and you will hear him, was not of the opinion that the ancient Egyptians were black. That's because of a stance he had regarding a book that he wrote with other, two other guys. But you will hear him actually, I don't want to say contradict himself, but have a different stance. That's gonna come in a little while. So let's continue here.
My cursor, bro. Let me put my.
No, I don't see. Oh, now I can see the arrow. Yeah, I can see the arrow now.
You talking about this little?
Yeah,
bit
here
right
around the back also. Like if you go around the neck
here.
as well. Yeah,
Right
here, and here. Yeah, so that will most likely be what the color was initially.
Okay, so am I correct that you're saying that this cow would be considered Kim, the color Kim?
Not the cow, but the guy. The guy. Kem. Once again, black doesn't mean jet black.
No, but my question to you is that okay? Let's go back to this one because in here we clearly see Deshret in this one.
Yeah, we
Okay,
see, but
and
that's
we
a
see
cow. You know, if you show me that for a man, that would be different because we have shown many attestation of can be used to describe man, human
but
beings.
okay, but
So if you're gonna
I'm trying to
compare
establish.
humans and animals, we're going somewhere else. You know, feel free to
No,
show
no,
me
no.
dash that for humans.
I'm establishing a foundation in colors that you and I can understand. So
Yeah,
this
for
color,
humans, for humans. See, I showed you Wesley Snipes, Tyrese. Those are human beings. So I would like, I think it'd be better to stick to human beings.
well, I'm no matter what the object is, I'm trying to establish what the Egyptians put into the semantic spectrum of desher, because desher doesn't mean strictly like blood red.
Yeah,
It's a
but
spectrum.
then
It's a
again, you know,
spectrum of shades, right?
you really should, in my opinion, you know, show us attestation of Desha that for human beings.
Okay, but understand this. This cow here is being described as red. And so that's I just want to establish that we have a visual color standard that we can establish right now. That this particular cow, you see some parts faded, you see a little darker patch here, darker patch, dark, but it is some fading on this one too, and the one up here. So obviously it's not uniform, but it's considered red. Now this cow right here, although the text doesn't say the word desher in it, but this cow's the pigment used, the actual physical paint that the artisans use to paint this cow is the same that they use to paint this particular man. Same artistic material.
Now,
Wait, is that me?
no, it's my daughter behind
Oh,
me. Shh. Now, now there's two different things here. The the pigment used, which most likely will be the red ochre. Now I've been saying ochre for years, but apparently we're supposed to pronounce it ochre.
no, it's ochre.
Okay, okay, well I was right then. So ochre, because some people say ochre. So the red ochre, most likely that's what it was used. So we have the pigment used. We presume it is red ochre, and then we have the skin tone. Now, when I look at this, isn't the human darker than the actual cow? What would you say? Or would you say it's the same skin tone or shade? Let's say.
Well, in certain areas, like you pointed out, it's darker and it fades lighter. Right here near the shoulder, on the legs, it's a little lighter. But even on the cow, it's a little darker. So my point though is taking under account of the age of this artifact, and through time it could have some fading. My point here is that the artist who painted this used the same paint for the cow as they did the man. They didn't use the same color. They didn't use the same paint they did for this cow.
How do we know? What did they use for that cow?
How do we know? It's because we have eyes.
So now you have eyes for this, but for Wesley Snipes, you didn't have eyes. You didn't know the skin color.
No, I already no. When you showed it,
okay,
listen.
okay,
No.
Okay, I hear you. Just keep going.
Okay,
Good.
okay.
But once again,
So
we're not dealing with humans. But go ahead.
no, we're comparing colors between cows and a man. So
Yeah.
this pigment, the artist did not choose to use this pigment for his skin color, but they did use this pigment for his hair. So the same scribal palette and artisan palette that they had that this Kim color in the bowl, they dipped the brush in that same bowl and painted his hair, and they dipped the same brush they used for this to paint his skin.
Now I'd like to interject, and we have the time.
All right.
Do you know many black people whose skin color is the same as their hair color?
I know some actually that
Can you show me, please?
Hair. That's hair. No, I mean in person.
I'm talking black people, you know. But you know, if it's other blacks, you know. So
no,
please show me.
I mean close to it. Not that I can pull up on Google, but I'm saying people I know personally. Like I know of very few people whose hair is actually look like it matches it naturally too, not even
Okay,
dyed.
what's the color then?
Well, they call it like a auburn, but it matches their skin. They like a
Okay, okay,
brown,
what's the
like a copper tone.
okay? It's not black.
No, it's not black. Nope.
All right. Well, you have to show and prove that because from my observation,
Well, I
I
mean,
have yet to see a black person whose skin
mhm.
color is the same as their hair color. So it's no
No, that's
surprise
rare.
that
That's rare. I'll give you that, but that's not what we're talking about here. I'm the point. Okay, let me
no,
just
no. The reason why I
go ahead.
interjected is because
Mhm.
I think I know where you're going with this, but I want to stay for the record that it's not surprising that back in Kemet they will use a darker shade for the hair because naturally, when we look worldwide, we don't usually see people whose skin tone is the same as their hair. Usually their hair, and mainly black people, if
And I
you're
would
going to
agree with
argue
you.
other ethnic, yeah, okay, well, so that's why I wanted to interject. So feel free to continue.
Okay, but I don't have a problem with that. So,
All
but
right.
here's my point though. The artist used the same paint they did for this cowl up top for the hair, and they used the same paint they did for the cow at the bottom for the body. Okay, that's that particular one. Um, and so now I want to show this particular image, and I think I can make this bigger. Yeah. So here we have a group of cattle, right? So I want to make note that this is a black one in the four. This is a black one up here in the forefront. This one is red. This one is Desher. This one's black. The one next to it is Desher, and the one next to that one is white. Then Desher again. Then you have a multicolored one. So
Hold
now,
on. Do we have the descriptions of the terms you used?
in the text, in this particular text, no.
All right. So you cannot give those descriptions if we don't have it in text.
Wait. What do you mean? Are you saying that this is not black?
So now Wesley Snipes that I show you, you will not say it's black, but now when it's a cow, out of a sudden it's black. Now, what I'm
Well,
saying is that you cannot say this is the share if we don't have that. That's the description. And once again, you're using animals. You will need to show us some humans. Describe with their share or their shared.
okay, but okay, let's do it this way.
It's like because
Regard
what you're doing now, it's like when you went Williams in the place to be from a Burge translation of Negro for Nahisi, and then you said he says the land of the blacks when he never said that. So to me, you're kind of doing the same thing.
Yeah, he said the land, Negro land. That's what he said. That's what I said. And
And you
you and
said
I both know.
and
And
you said the land of the blacks, and he doesn't say that.
no, it says Negro land, which is what I said. And then you and I know what
And
Negro means
and,
in French.
and
What
then you
what,
said
what
the
is
land
Negro
of
in
the and
French?
then you said the land of the blacks, but we never agree on that. It's okay.
Okay,
It's just
as a side note, what does Negro mean in French?
it's the same as the like the Spanish. It's not really used because now it is seen as derogatory, but back
No,
then,
well,
like
I'm not talking about use. I'm asking you, what does it mean?
uh, it's it's not really a French word in the first place. We use black. I'm sorry, we use noir. Noir is the main word for black in
Noir, is that
French.
spelled Noir? Is that one?
Exactly, yes. And in feminine form, you have an e at the end.
Can
So
you
so
pronounce
but
it again for me, please?
noir.
Oh,
The
Noir.
French R is not the same as the English R. So it's like noir. But
Like
yeah,
a
that's
ah,
how we pronounce
like
it.
ah and father,
Not really like for
like an
example,
A.
regarde, the R, the French R is like that. Regarde, which means look. So that sound you have it at the end, noir. But obviously, I don't expect people to be able to pronounce it because it's a different language, so it's not that easy. But for the record, we call it
No,
noir.
Noir.
Whether it's
Okay.
masculine, yeah, noir. Whether it's masculine or feminine, it is pronounced the same. But you can tell if it's masculine or feminine just by the writing, because once again, at the end you have the e.
E if it's feminine. Okay, great.
Yes, if it's
Appreciate that.
feminine. Yeah.
But okay, but here's the thing. This cow we can agree is black, or can we agree that?
Yeah, yeah,
Not the underbelly, not the underbelly, but the
yeah. We
but
can
the
we can
the
agree
cow
the color
is
is
black.
black. Yes, we can agree with that.
Okay, now regardless of what this cow is called, if you don't want to subscribe to it being Desheret or Desher, meaning the multi shades of red, we can agree that these people's skin color here is closely in alignment with this red cow and not the black cow.
It is close to the color of the red cow. Yes.
Okay.
Now, for the record, when he said the share, he said multi shade of red.
Alignment with this red cow and not the black cow. In alignment color here is agreed that these people's skin color here is closely in alignment with this red cow and not the black cow.
It is close to the color of the red cow. Yes.
Okay, so as long as we can establish that,
mm-hmm.
then okay, as long as we can establish that, and I think this one shows this is our quick one. We're covering, but okay,
whether it's masculine or the writing.
But okay, but here's the thing. This cow we can agree is black, or can we agree that?
Yeah.
Not the underbelly, not the underbelly, but the.
Yeah, we can agree the color is black. Yes, we can agree with that.
Okay, now regardless of what this cow is called, if you don't want to subscribe to it being Desheret or Desher, meaning the multi shades of red.
You heard? Desheret or Desher, meaning the multi shades of red, right? So why is it that Kem cannot be multi shades of black?
We can agree that these people's skin color here is closely in alignment with this red cow and not the black cow.
It is close to the color of the red cow. Yes.
Okay, so as long as we can establish that,
mm-hmm.
then okay, as long as we can establish that, and I think this one shows this is a quick one.
And for the record, you're probably aware that we have depictions of ancient Egyptians who are way darker than the individuals that we're seeing right now.
Oh yeah, I have some examples of those.
Yeah, because a lot of people focus on this skin tone.
Well, this is like 99% of the artwork.
That's what you're saying. But for example, the tomb of Ramesses III, which is more. Now he said that this skin tone that we are seeing right now is 99% of the artwork. 99% of the artwork. One of the most powerful ruler. I wouldn't say that, because the tomb of Ramesses III, which is one of the most powerful ruler of Kemet, we barely see anything. On the Theban mapping project, we have some facsimiles. We barely see anything. So I think there's a lot of things they don't want to see. They don't want us to see, like this one here. Asarimka said that he's seen it with the Joanne Fletcher, a documentary of hers, and he was inside of the tomb. Because on Osiris.net, they say that it is located in the Louvre Museum, but I've been to the Louvre Museum so many times, and I can say that it is not on display. So probably it is in the tomb of Ramesses III. But regardless, we have plenty of other depictions of ancient Egyptians who don't have this kind of reddish brown, as you and others say. They are way darker, and I'm not talking about Amos Nefertari being jet black like you have shown, because you'll show that indeed sometimes Amos Nefertari looks way lighter than the jet black. Or I'm not talking about the Mentuhotep, which is in Cairo Museum, where he's jet black as well. I'm talking about plenty of other depictions. They will not necessarily be jet black, but they will definitely be dark brown, not reddish brown at all. And if you want, you know what? It's in the place to be Hotep. I'm going to show you, just so that people can understand. It's very important for people to see that. If I put blackest.
Okay, while you're doing that, if I may. I just want to make a point. Then I'll finish. I'll finish.
Yeah, okay. I'll let you finish your point, and then I'm going to share. My
okay.
Story. Yes, go ahead.
So here's another example of the color of the cow matching the skin color of the individual, and this particular cow is Desher, the color Desher.
What do we have the description Desher there?
No.
All right. And no.
In terms of the text, let me just clarify what I'm saying. In terms of the text here, but I'm pointing out that you have three layers of color. You have black, then you have red, and then you have black. And on top of the black stands a red cow and a man that's painted red. And my point is just to make the distinction that the Egyptians did, allowing the Egyptians to tell us these differences and distinctions. And so they had the ability to paint this guy black if that was the case, but they painted him red. And as I've
Do we
shown
know
in
that?
this one, yeah, because it matches here. Like if we were to go through the
Yeah,
tomb
yeah,
of
yeah. But
Nefertari,
here
if
we kind of doing conjecture
well,
because
okay,
the
I
red,
tell you
the
what,
red.
let me pull up an Egyptian male in this same tomb with the same colors here, so that we could we could
Okay,
we could go for
well,
tomb for
well,
tomb.
yeah, I can let you do that, and if you don't mind, because you had a go, if I can have a go, I want to show that to the people. Now
Okay.
here, and I'm going to share the link in the chat. This is in Torino's museum or Turin in Italy.
You do have the link to that video in the chat. It's called "Blackest Ancient Egyptians You Ever Seen." It's from the tomb of Shemes, and that is indeed in Turin's museum in Italy. You know, they call it Torino.
Now you
All
see,
right.
most people are not used to see that kind of shade, but we have plenty of ancient Egyptians who are depicted with similar skin tone. Now, as for the red ochre, we know it was abundant in ancient Egypt, in Kemet. I don't know if the black coloring, whatever mineral or whatever they were using to come up with that color black, we don't know if it was abundant. So maybe it's conjecture, but who knows? Maybe because the black coloring was not abundant, they would prefer to use it, for example, with the color of the hair, which is naturally darker than the rest of the body. Or maybe they will use it for other instances. We don't know. But I don't think we're in a position to say that they had the dark coloring or the dark color, whatever pigment or mineral was used. I don't think we can say that they had as much as the red ochre, because once again, the red ochre was abundant.
Okay, so let me
But
just
you,
make a distinction that I always talk about. The statuary is different from the paintings in the session of vignettes. So the statuary has always been different. The various different statues, those have always been different. And so you'll
I
find
mean,
you'll find a wide variety.
what do you mean? Like it's been different from what?
So in
Merut,
other
Merut,
words,
Merut.
in
Sorry.
in okay, in other words, statistically, in the artwork, in the carvings, on the wall carvings and the vignettes and the different scenes that we can see all throughout Egypt and all throughout its history, there was a scribal canon of using this reddish brown pigment to depict adult males, and they use yellow for the most part statistically, or a shade of yellow to depict
For the
uh,
females.
for women.
Yeah, the yellow
Now,
ochre, yes.
yes, but in statuary, in the various different statues, that standard canon did not apply in a rigid way like we do in the carvings and everything. So this is something
So,
that I always explain.
are you kind of saying that it is normal that we see dark brown, as you would say, or black, as I would say, for statues, for the colors of the statues? Is that what you're saying?
No, not black, but you'll see a more variety in the statues than you do on the walls.
All right, but that is still a painting that they've used. It's the color that they've used for the painting.
For some of them is the color of the wood, but yeah,
Now,
they
now
use paint as well.
yeah, but so here it is, and but besides, those are statues indeed. But I have two videos: Black Ancient Egyptians Part One and Black Ancient Egyptians Part Two. And I was lucky to come across someone who has went to many places in Kemet, and there I show mainly paintings from the walls, not statues. And they do indeed have this dark brown hue that I will call black hue. Actually, Chief X came in one of the live streams. I think he went on Part Two, and he was so hurt, and he said, "Too much cherry picking, I'm out." He couldn't take it. He couldn't take the heat, because too many people presume or were led to believe that when we have ancient Egyptians portrayed,
physically in terms of phenotype of color, that is always this reddish brown or light, light red hue of red, and they are not aware that we have plenty like this. So this is indeed a shade of chem. This is really black to me, but other people would choose, dark brown is fine. Some people, I mean, would you say this is reddish brown, or would you say that's dark brown here?
I would say that's definitely brown. I would just say brown.
Right.
Progress. Because first they were talking about, it's not the only one, but reddish brown. But here we don't have no red or reddish. He just said brown.
I would say that's definitely brown. I would just say brown on that one.
So that's not black to you, right?
No.
All right. And this one here, you say that's
Same
brown
thing.
as well.
Same thing. Yep.
So this is the same skin tone as Tyrese, is it?
About, if you go back to the picture, I could tell you for sure.
Right.
But about West.
This is about the same skin tone as Tyrese. You understand what I came up with that title?
Right.
And Tyrese.
All right. So tone as Tyrese, is it as well?
Same thing. Yep.
So this is the same skin tone as Tyrese, is it?
About, if you go back to the picture, I could tell you for sure.
Right.
But about Wesley and Tyrese.
All right. So that's good for the record, brothers and sisters.
Not just Tyrese. He said Wesley and Tyrese. You have the link to this convo. I showed a picture of Wesley Snipes. Okay, so if any of you feel like Tyrese and Wesley Snipes are not black, then feel free. You know what I'm saying? But anyway.
Because, we have the pictures of ancient Egyptians who have the same skin tone as Tyrese. And, we could say Wesley Snipes, but, the brother said Tyrese, and I'm fine with that. I'm fine with that.
Tyrese, but here's the thing. Now, statistically speaking,
and it is not reddish brown. It is not red, no reddish brown. But the brother said brown.
Okay, yeah, in this particular statue, yes, this is what I would describe as brown.
And to me, that's black. That's a shade of black. But we can use the term brown. It's fine. Because in Kemet, I don't think they had the term for brown. I think they will use chem. But if you're aware of a term for brown, then feel free to let us know.
Yes, that's right. That covers what we would call brown today.
Once again, you know why I came up with that title. He just said Deshret will be used for what we call brown today. Now, did anybody ever see that in a dictionary or in any book, any grammar book from any PhD, preferably an Egyptologist? But I have never seen that. I have never. Let's hear it again.
Term for brown, I think they will use chem. But if you're aware of a term for brown, then feel free to let us know.
Yes.
See, I told him if you are aware of a term for brown, let us know. And then what does he say?
Deshret. Deshret covers what we would call brown today.
Deshret covers what we will call brown today. Do you remember James P. Allen? When we had Deshret, he had yellow and red.
All right, well, I hear you. I hear you.
And even the redder side of yellow too, as well. So if you
so you're saying the word for brown is Deshret? Fine, I hear you. I don't agree, but I hear you.
I'm saying what we describe as brown would fall under the category of Desher in ancient Egyptian times. All right, so and we
okay, all right.
We summarily say.
You see, I just saw that today. Cartoon cat. That video is I think it's 2 years old. Well, not yet. October 9. Oh, actually, yeah, not yet. October 9, 2022. So back then, she was in the place to be.
A reddish brown.
Yeah, if you don't want.
And for the record, she wrote. Hold on.
and we.
She wrote, the hatred for the term black is crazy. And she wrote that because you heard me asking him how Ujau will call that skin tone. He does not call that skin tone black.
So okay, all right.
We summarily
If you
say
don't mind,
reddish brown.
if you don't want,
We say reddish brown.
fine. So would you describe that skin tone on the screen as deshered or deshered?
Yep.
Okay, I hear you.
I
hear
said
you.
brown, right?
Goodness. I don't know if Ujau is hearing, listening now, or if we listen later, or anybody that follows him. But you heard the question.
Yep.
Would you describe that skin tone on the screen as deshered or deshered?
Now, once again, anybody can look up the word desher or deshered, right? And you can spell it with our script, Desheret, right? But you can just type red hieroglyphic. Desher/desheret is mainly translated as red. We even had the term yellow used by James P. Allen, PhD. So this skin tone that we are seeing right now, this statue right there in Italy, Turin, right? In Egizio, Museo Egizio, right? Egyptian museum. Not only Joe said he's not black, but he uses the term desher or desheret to describe that skin tone. Make that make sense. But to each his own, it's a free world.
Yep.
Describe that skin tone on the screen. If you don't
say
want,
reddish, we say reddish brown.
Fine. So would you describe that skin tone on the screen as deshered or deshered?
Yep.
Okay, I hear you.
I said brown, right?
Yeah, well, that's your stance.
I'm very consistent. I'm just answering very consistently.
I will use chem. I will use chem. But
okay.
You have the, you use desher. Now, deshered, for the record, just so people can understand. Deshered, that will be the feminine, right? Desher will be the masculine. Is that correct? Do we agree on that?
Yes, we agree on that.
All right. So for the record, Brother Ujau is saying that the skin tone here is desher. Now, maybe what will help us is to find some attestation with the description, the whatever word was used,
What?
Because so far, for a person, yes. Because so far, Netaneb and Smash Rockwell, for months, have shown plenty of attestation of the term chem used for the physical appearance or the physical appearance of individuals.
Okay,
and
so
sometimes we have the hair lock, sometimes we don't, because James P. Allen stated, and he's surely not the only one, but James P. Allen has stated that it's not necessary to have the hair lock. So if you're
Young Hero checking my head, you can't be making stuff up now and telling lies because can't deny the truth.
you're aware of the physical descriptions with that share, then feel free to share with us and we can see, the skin to color. But feel free, I think you wanted to say something.
No, what I wanted to say was that statistically speaking, if you do a survey of the ancient Egyptian artwork on the walls and temples and everything, that the majority of the adult males are painted in a similar, very similar color that we refer to.
Now here you can see the comment says it's already that LOL denying black is weird but very simple. What is the hieroglyphic name for brown? I'm wondering the same. Now we heard what he said. If you can put up, a translation from an Egyptologist preferably, but let's say a PhD, that would be interesting. Sounds to me like he made that up, when he used the term desher/deshered. What we cover or that will cover what we call brown today.
It's reddish brown. Like similar, very similar. The adult males are painted in a similar, very similar color that we refer to as reddish brown. Like in general, as a
I'm sorry.
catch-all, as a catch-all
Yeah,
term.
can you come again for me, please?
I said, statistically speaking, in the artwork of ancient Egypt, from its beginning to its end, if you walk through all the dynasties and all the artwork, if you take a survey of all of that artwork, you'll walk away with the majority, very high percentage, 90+% of adult males being painted in the artistic canon that we today categorically call reddish brown.
Well, what you call brown, I call it black. So that's where we have there's a nuance between our stances. But I don't know if we can say that, because once again, there will surely, like for example, the one in the back, like how come one of the most powerful ruler of Kemet, they don't even show that one? Now there's the one that I was using that is definitely in the Louvre Museum, museum. Sorry. So
I'm sorry, I just didn't catch it. Which ruler you mentioned?
now here, the
No,
one
I'm saying
that's,
you mentioned which. No, you said that they don't show. Which one are you talking about?
this one here that you usually see it like on articles about ancient Egypt, books.
Oh, I'm in
about
Hotep the Third.
No,
Yeah.
this depiction here. Do you normally see it? Do you see it like on some books, on some articles, on some
Yeah.
documentaries?
That's
really?
how I recognize it. Yeah.
Okay, which book was it? Or which article?
I don't remember off the top of my head, but
Oh.
I've seen that picture many times.
Well, I've seen it indeed, but not necessarily on books or documentaries or
Oh, on the
articles
cover of
from.
books, I'm not sure the cover of a book, but I've seen it.
Yeah, but they will
I've seen
put
it many
Nofret and his
times.
wife. So yeah, we see it floating around, but from people in the field, from people in academia, they don't usually show this kind of depictions. So the tomb of the tomb of Amenhotep III is an indication to me why they're not showing us the tomb of one of the most powerful ruler, which is Akhenaten's father and most likely Tutankhamun's grandfather. And besides, the skin is usually fading away, and I've shown that in museums around the world. I mean, not around the world, but in many different countries, we have a lot of statues. When we look at them, it's like it's white, you know. And I don't know which one. I could try to look for an example for the brothers and sisters to understand. But if we look at the coloring today, it will seem as it is like white or gray, but we can see the coloring before, because it's thousands of years old. It has faded away. I don't know if I could fade it. Uh, I have larger statues. Maybe on this one we can see that. Okay, there's an advertisement. So it's about 3 seconds to skip it. So we might see indeed. That's a great example here. That's the Louvre Museum. Now that's a city scribe, and okay, so number one, a scribe, and you see around the leg, we can see the ochre. Oh, I didn't share it. Oh yes,
Yeah, I don't see it.
Oh, it's my bad. There it is. So around the leg,
That's the kind of artifact that we see a lot. Now, many times they're made of limestone or some sort of, stone/rock. And they are very happy showing these artifacts where the color has faded away. And like you heard me said, there's some larger ones, right? I have filmed some larger artifact, not seated, standing, right? And the coloring is almost completely gone. Here, you still have some coloring. You will see shortly. You can see now if you look around the knees and if you look around the hair. There's some others where he has, well, actually, I think in the Louvre Museum, there's a few videos. They are in French, but they are on my channel, where I show some artifacts where the color is completely gone. It has completely faded away. I think you only see some coloring around the eye of the woman, But then there's some other one in the same room, some other artifacts, and they are standing, and you see some remnants of what is left of the coloring. But anyway, let's continue here.
Here, I don't know if my cursor is showing, but we
Yep.
can see the coloring, and we can see even around the hair. So around the hair, we can still see the remnants of the black coloring. But the
Yeah,
whole
who's that?
body, um, well, I can, let's see. I don't know if it is named though, but I'm going to show the description. Even here, we can see the red part, you know. So over time, it has
Mhm.
faded away. So yeah, they don't have any name. They say seated scribe in
Oh,
Nataya
I
is a
got you.
word for, yeah. And but the date, however, is fifth dynasty, between 2500 to 2350
And indeed, it says that it's painted limestone. That's the material of the statue.
And
BC.
he's
So this,
painted reddish brown, right?
well, that's the thing that we are talking about right here. You're saying reddish brown, but like here, for example, now that's not the body here. What was it? What was it? Like was it dark brown? Was it brown? What we know for sure is that there was a skin coloring, and over time it has faded away. So a lot of times, indeed, we will see some coloring today, and we'll feel, oh, this is red or this is reddish, but possibly it was actually dark brown or maybe just black. Period. And over time, it has faded away. And the result, after thousands of years, now when we have a house, we usually have to paint on a regular basis. And we're talking about artifacts that's like, this is 2000 BC. This is 4,000 years old. So naturally, it has faded away. And that's where I disagree with you stating that, 90% of the time. Now, okay, if you want to say today, that's what it looks like, okay, fine. But what did it look like before? And a lot of time, we have this indication because we can clearly see that the color is faded away. And that's what I've shown over the years in
Okay, let me
different
add.
museums. Yeah.
Okay, so let me just ask you a question, just
Hmm.
to, just to kind of see if you are aware. When scholars refer to the artistic aspect of the culture and everything like that, what do scholars say that the adult males are painted as? What terminology do they use? Do they say black or do they say reddish brown?
Young Hero wrote, right don't mean there was black day NBA. I don't know what NBA means. Have statues same color, but they are different people. It don't tell what. Sorry, it don't tell that's how the people look all the time. Okay, I'm not really understanding that statement, but feel free to type any other statements. And if anybody want to get on the panel, I'll share the link. I don't know, maybe 10, 15 minutes to play, and then I'm done. I can call it a day. If somebody gets on the panel, I don't mind. Otherwise, I'll call it a day.
Brown.
Well, I like your question. It's a very interesting question. But usually, the scholars, when we talk about the skin, I don't know if they will use a color, they will probably use like reddish, But mainly, we know the Egyptologists and different scholars and historians, mainly they are not black. And a lot of them love to say, when it comes to the race of the ancient Egyptians, that we are dealing with a multi-ethnic population, that they were like Mediterranean in type and they were mixed. So we cannot say that they were black and we cannot say that they were white. So I don't think it's a good thing to rely on their description, because we know very well, thanks to Dr. Shenkanta Diop and Theophilo Benga, that back then they felt like those people of ancient Egypt were actually white people, white-skinned people. So Dr. Diop and Obenga came in and said, no, those were black Africans. So now they're not. It's not surprising that they're not going to say, well, okay, actually, well, they were black. They were black Africans. We have Tim Kendall, who argued, and he's a PhD, and he's our brother Pan African James, who let me know about this guy. He has an upcoming book about Nubia, and he argues that what the people did with Jebel Barker and the whole building, it's actually like going back to the root. He argues that the kingship of Kemet started from the south, in Nubia. You see? Now, this book here by Richard H. Wilkinson, reading Egyptian art. Now, it's probably not really shown because of my background, but he doesn't even have any description for Kem. He doesn't. Now, most people say that Kem is a piece of, it's like a scale, crocodile scale. But just like Sheikh Anta Diop, being Manley, and Mark Collier, they describe Kem as a piece of charcoal, you know. So the piece of charcoal we know is black. Diop has shown many attestation similarities when he did his linguistic comparative work, and we have the Coptic. Before I go to the Wolof, we have the Coptic. But your friend Osar Imhotep, I don't know what he's doing, and that's you. And I see that you guys have addressed what Dr. Mario Beatty said. Dr. Mario Beatty said that Osar doesn't go through the Coptic, but he goes around it. How come in the Coptic we have the same term that means the same thing, and it is black? So what are you going to say about the Coptic? What does Kemet mean? Does it mean dark brown, reddish brown, or does it mean black?
Okay, I can stop there. Thank you, Sister Andrew. I was wondering if I was thinking about the actual NBA, but I just didn't understand. Like they the NBA have statues same color, but they are okay. Well, anyway, that was the main thing I wanted to go through. I'm gonna wait, maybe a couple of minutes, and if nobody gets on the panel, then I'll call it a day. But if anybody knows what the hieroglyphic or Medu Nature word for brown is, then feel free to tell me. Because he said it's Desheret / Desher, But I don't know his stance today. But like we have covered, they had an ideology, they had a doctrine, they had an agenda because of a book, because of the stance and the claims that they have made in that book. Is Tyrese reddish brown? Is Wesley Snipe reddish brown? If Tyrese and Wesley Snipes are not black, then dang, who's black? But I guess nobody's black then. Then you have some people, and usually a lot of Moors love to say that. You have some people who say, well, black is a social construct. So if a Caucasian socializes with black folks, dress like them, talk like them, then he's going to be black too. See, black is a social construct. I've heard that for years, and the majority of the people who've been saying that are the Moorish people, the Moors, the followers of Noble Drew Ali's teaching and other people's teaching who talk about sovereignty, who claim to be indigenous to the Americas. Some will, claim some affinity with Morocco as well because of some treaty that they be talking about, because they have an agenda, because they have a doctrine. Now, it's not scholarly, because those Moorish people, those so-called Moors, like Sabirbe and others, they will tell anybody, the whole world, they will claim that black people ruled Europe for like 700 years. They will claim that black people ruled and ran Europe for hundreds of years. And amazingly, they cannot even show you depictions of those black rulers. They cannot tell you which territory they rule. What's their names? Some might tell you about Tariq and tell you about Gibraltar and say that Gibraltar was named after that Tariq guy. And we have Runoko Rashidi on tape saying that he was treated like a second class citizen. They was publicly humiliated. And I have already asked a question before. Can somebody show us some Moorish ruler describing himself as a Moor or another Moorish person or black person, melanated person as a Moor? People are just all over the place when it comes to the Moors. Some will attempt to deal with the etymology, and they will go to, if it's not BC time, very early in time, in a AD period. But I think it goes back to BC time because they will deal with the Greek. Some will tell you about the Latin, some will tell you about the Greek, right? And then boom, they will fast forward to 1500 years or so. It is folklore, just like the Exodus. Black people ruling and running Europe for hundreds of years is folklore. It's a fairy tale. It was Muslims who ruled parts of Europe for hundreds of years. And among those Muslims, yes, there were some black people, just like you have black people in the US Army, just like you have some black people in the French Army. You even have black people in the Israeli army. Let me make my closing remarks. Stay safe, stay healthy. If I'm allowed to by the nature, I will definitely holler back at you. I don't argue. I stay fast. If you're not part of the solution, you're part of the problem. If you do not think right, you will not act right. If you know better, you will do better. Do it to do nature hotel.
Now, for the record, for those who don't know, I'm giving middle nature classes. And here, that's the flyer. Okay? So, those who are interested, feel free to holler at me. If you're not interested, it's cool. But I recommend that everybody who has not yet seen the video, Kemet and Ma'at, Before Judaism, Christianity, and Islam, then watch it. It has about 300,000 views and really deserves to have a lot more.
I just want to let everyone know who's listening in now and who's going to listen to this stream in the future. I just had my first Meta Nature class by Brother Shaka today, and I've had other Meta Nature lessons by other teachers, and I can tell you right now, the brother is the best in the game. He is that was one of the best classes I've ever had ever. So if you're interested in learning the Meta Nature, if you're interested in getting the basics of it, Brother Shaka is an awesome teacher. Get with him, and it's extremely affordable. This brother is giving us his time and his skills, and he's basically giving it away. I mean, I just consider it a donation. You know what I'm saying? So if anybody's interested in learning the Meta Nature, get with this brother right here. He's an awesome teacher. And I'll end with that.
Hotep Senu, Hana Senut. This is Julie, also known as Servant of Yah, and I'm currently taking the Medu Neture classes with Brother Shaka, and it has been an amazing experience. Only 2 lessons so far, and I feel like I've been taking the classes for months, just with the how in depth he goes into the vocabulary words, the construction of the language, the grammar. It's been immeasurable, the experience. And one thing that comes across, hands down, is his extreme passion for teaching this to anyone who is willing to learn and has an interest in learning. So I highly suggest, if you are interested, even a minimal interest, that you subscribe to the classes with Brother Shaka. It's such a nominal amount for how much you get. I know, like, our last class was over 2.5 hours. It felt like 2 minutes, but because that's how, involved you are in what he's teaching and how he teaches and how compassionate he is about what he teaches. Also with sharing materials free of charge, no question, no doubt. It's just what he does. He doesn't have to, but he does. And so I just wanted to give a short testimonial about the class and the effectiveness of the class. And all of that is attested to how studied Brother Shaka is. So I highly recommend anyone with a minimal interest that you do sign up for the Medu Netia class. Hotep.
Don't forget to subscribe to my channel, which is Ma'at Forever. Don't forget to watch the video entitled Kemet and Ma'at. Don't forget to share Kemet and Ma'at on my channel on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, WhatsApp, or other social media that you use. Email, text messages, you name it. Those who wish to donate can do so on paypal.me/ma'atforever.